Welcome to the Boundary Race. This is where endurance meets teamwork. In one of the most demanding relay races on the track, the men's 4 times 1500 meters. This is where we have 4 runners, 4 legs, and 1 team goal to reach the finish line first. The crowd is watching, all teams are ready, and there is tension in the building. Let's now watch closely as we see which team will emerge victorious. As a proud Kenyan, I'm here cheering Team Kenya.
Well, it will indeed, Steve, be very interesting to see the tactics. They've gone off at, it seems, at a reasonable pace, but certainly not the sort of blistering ones we've seen from some of the Kenyans in the other races. But of course, Cheboy is a rather more experienced runner than we had in those 800-metre races. Al-Ghani of Qatar, a good consistent runner for them. Gregson, the Australian that you mentioned, just in 5th place, just been overtaken by the Ethiopian first leg runner, Mekanen Gebremedin. And Gebremedin, possibly the best of all the runners in this first race, world indoor bronze medalist back in 2012. And again, a good consistent runner. But of course, this is rather different from some of the races that the athletes are used to, as Mekanen Gebremedin does indeed go further. They're used to running paced races in the Grand Prix meetings, so this is rather different. But a reasonable opening lap there.
Well, it's probably not as fast as we were expecting, but Gebremedin's decided he doesn't really want to go this sort of pace, and as you said, he's a star runner, and he's decided to take it on. Cheboy now having to relinquish the lead.
Well, I think the fact that the Ethiopians have made it changes the dynamic of this race. They don't have the same strength and depth as the Kenyans, because the Kenyan quartet, the slowest of them, is James Maggott, who goes on the 3rd leg with a not too shabby PB of 3:33. But certainly the fact that the Ethiopians are here, as we're seeing at the moment, could change the dynamic of the early stages of this race.
Not only could, I think it will throughout. I mean, their worst runner is 3:34 now, and they've got Wote on the last leg, who really is in terrific form this year. So Gebremedin leading it out for the Ethiopians here.
Well, hence, I think, a little bit of reluctance by Cheboy to go too hard, and he doesn't want to take Gebremedin through at a respectable pace. I think just now, maybe it's just dissolving into a tactical battle between Ethiopia and Kenya, which we've seen so many times in the past.
The Americans still up there well with Qatar both in dark vests. Al-Ghani of Qatar and Patrick Casey of the United States, 3rd in the NCAAs last year. I think this is international debut as well. He's obviously giving a good showing for himself. He's just tucked in there at the moment in 3rd place. Gregson this time holding on to them at the moment for the Australians. So there's 6 teams together with just the poles really at the back of the affairs at the moment. So Gebremedin's been prepared to take up the running pretty early on in this race. And Cheboy just holding on at the moment, now just ranging up on his shoulder. Looks like he's going to burst through. Yes, Cheboy is now taking it up for Kenya. For the Americans, Casey just behind him, but Gebremedin's trying to hold him off as they come up now. And it is indeed pretty quick. It's speeded up, 2:57 there.
Yeah, Gebremedin was putting the pace on there, just didn't want to relinquish that lead there. Cheboy was jostled a little bit, and at the moment you see Cheboy and he's trying his best to go past Gebremedin. Gebremedin is going to attack again. He doesn't like it. This is a good race, and because of that, they are speeding up, which is very important if we're looking at a world record. Casey, though, the United States also making a move on the outside here. Well, the Americans will not be put down, will they?
Splendid run by Casey as they're coming up, of course, now to the first changeover just on the bend here. And it's been a reasonable first lap here. It's around 3:37-ish.
That's not bad at all. They're under world record by 3 seconds.
Under world record by 3 seconds, and Kenya pick up the lead once again. Storming in front for the East African nation is Silas Kiplagat. But look at the effort being put forth by Saresa Fida.
Well, he's having to do that. It was a terrible changeover for the Ethiopians. They're not used to having the baton in their hand, I don't think. And he lost almost 20 metres or so.
So coming into the back straight, still 4 main contenders. Silas Kiplagat, though, comfortable and in control, leading out these athletes, being closely pursued by David Torrance, former US indoor 3,000-meter champion, on his heels and on his shoulders as they come around to complete 400 meters for this leg.
And bear in mind, Silas Kiplagat is one of only 2 men to have gone under 3:30 this season in Doha. He's got the credentials of a world silver medal in Daegu, and we know he is lightning quick.
And this is a very quick first lap there. I think it's around 55, 56.
Well, they're getting into the real top strata of middle distance running here, and because of that, these 3 are pulling well away.
Pulling well away from the rest of the field. It is Kiplagat, Torrance, and Fida. Fida, only 19 years of age. World Junior Championships, went out in the heats in 2010, 3rd as an African junior a year later. He finished 7th in the African Games, but of course, as Steve's already pointed out, the battle between Ethiopia and Kenya is a tradition and a rivalry that runs so long and so rich and so deep that they often perform beyond their abilities and beyond their credentials. Kiplagat now being shadowed closely by Torrance, and Fida hanging tough with the 2 of them.
Well, Torrance is doing well, he really is. He's a 3:33 man, so he's a caliber man. His eyes are locked on Kiplagat just in front of him. He's looking up at the scoreboard, checking where everybody is, so he's in good shape. It's not actually dying. Torrance could hang on here. This would be a good run from him at this sort of pace.
Now the gap between Ethiopia and the lead 2 just opening up a little bit. Fida was trying to hang on to the coattails of Torrance and Kiplagat, but now just being left in their wake as Kiplagat, the reigning Commonwealth Games champion from Delhi 4 years ago, just begins to put the hammer down, looking up at the big screen when he has the opportunity. World Championship silver medalist from Daegu as well. But Torrance with him, stride for stride, really impressive running from the former US indoor champion at 3,000 meters.
It's great stuff from the North American, and it's really important for other middle and long distance running nations not to be intimidated by the likes of the Ethiopians and the Kenyans, because if you train hard enough and you are on top of your game, there's no reason why you can't be in the mix. This is great stuff from the American.
Well, he's hanging tough now. Kiplagat's still starting to charge. The gap is opening up 2 or 3 meters, and you can see really Torrance's arms are starting to slide, go out a bit more. He's grimacing, he's losing all sorts of form as Kiplagat just keeps piling this pressure on and on and on.
Well, all of a sudden it looks as though David Torrance is running in treacle. His form has absolutely deserted him as we come up to the change. From the 2nd athlete to the 3rd, Torrance fighting for all he's worth, but Kiplagat away and clear. Ethiopia with an awful lot to do.
And it's James Maggott heading out onto the 3rd leg for the Kenyans. They are on world record pace.
Well inside, 7:10.19 at 3,000 meters, well inside.
Fantastic effort from the American Torrance to hang on. But it's Will Lear on the 3rd leg for them. He did make the final of the World Indoors in Stockholm. He's got a short stride for a big man, Will Lear. He's in 2nd place, and it's Alameu, 4th in the World Youth a few years ago, who's going to try and track him down and close in on 2nd place. But that camera angle there gives you an indication as to how far in front James Maggott is. And no disrespect to the Commonwealth silver medalist and the former World Junior silver medalist. He is, if you can call him a weakling, he is the slowest of the 4, and we do have that enigma, that huge talent of Asbel Kiprop to anchor the Kenyans home. Good performance so far from Will Lear. Alaneu looks quite calm and composed at the moment. It's Collis Birmingham on 3rd leg for the Australians, and what a great renaissance he's had in the last few years. Brilliant 8th place in the World Cross, but he's well isolated in 4th place. Can Maggott keep it going? And are they edging closer and closer, the Kenyans, to another middle distance world record?
Well, sorry, Peter, go on.
Well, let me just give you the first 2 splits. Cheboy 3:38.5, Kiplagat 3:32.4.
Whoa, that was the damage, wasn't it? Yeah. Maggott now just has to hang on. He may not be the best in their team. He's just got to keep this rhythm going at a respectable pace. Hand it over to Asbel Kiprop. Now this is what I want to see. I want to see what Asbel Kiprop can do if he's got to run hard on his own. Normally he languishes at the back and languishes around there, trying to maybe just do as little as possible in most races, and then he comes through with that massive stride. If he has to run hard, which you might think he has to do here, because he doesn't really know perhaps what the time is or what the splits have been going on, he might produce something quite sensational on this last leg.
It's going to be interesting to see how Kiplagat, how he chooses to approach it. Asbel Kiprop, remember he set that blistering 3:27 in Monaco last year where he dragged Mo Farah around to a British record. How will he approach the fourth and final leg with a world record in the offing?
Maggott just needs to dig in and hang on here. Really good performance from Will Lear because the Kenyan isn't really taking any extra ground out of him.
Just to give a check on how Maggott's doing. His last 2 laps, 57.9 and 59.1.
So he's slowing slightly, but that doesn't really mean much really, because when you're going to hand it over to likes of Asbel Kiprop, whatever lesser pace this man is performing, Kiprop will make it up.
Well, it would be sensational for the Kenyans. Their women produced a world record in this 15-lap event yesterday, and they will go as favourites in the 8-lap event, which immediately follows this. But Maggott will be feeling it now. He is not too far away from handing over the athletes at the traditional start of the 1500 metres, preparing to take over. And good work from Collis Birmingham to close down on Alameu. Well, we said he had a really good season, and it's continuing here.
Well, he's moving up into 3rd place, the Australian. Good run from him. I think, kind of feeling the Ethiopians may have turned up a little bit too late for these championships. They look a bit jaded. But here we go. Asbel Kiprop gets it in his hand. Just look at the style of this man. Those legs now are starting to stretch out. I haven't seen this before. I don't think the world has seen this before. There Collis Birmingham handing over now to his teammate. Well, let's just see the first lap of what Asbel can try and do. If the crowd get him excited, we could see something very special indeed. He knows, I think, he's going to break the world record because he's almost capable of making any deficit up that he has to for that particular record. Beautiful run-up, beautifully smooth. He doesn't even look as if he's running fast, but believe you me, he really is.
And Steve, just to give you a check on what his job is, he's certainly well inside schedule, you said. Maggott did his job pretty well, 3:39 lap there.
Well, chasing behind is Lionel Mazzano, the Olympic silver medalist. There's Williams of Australia, who's studying in America at the moment. He's in, 3rd place at the moment, but being shadowed by the Ethiopian. But those long legs are now stretching out down the back straight, eating up the ground.
55 seconds his first lap.
He doesn't even look as if he's running that fast. That's the worry with Kiprop. But I think we can safely say this world record is definitely going to go. But just how much he wants to stride out.
He's irresistible to watch, Steve. And the question I've got for you, his legs are so thin. He's run 3:27, as Ronald McIntosh has just said. Where does the power come from? Because his legs are tiny.
It is. There's Mazzano. He's got a hard task, hasn't he, trying to catch this man, but he is a caliber athlete. But you can see now Asbel stretching out even more. I saw him after the Olympics. He didn't run there. He's terribly disappointed not to be able to defend his gold medal. He was injured, and I think to him that was a big deficit. But I think he's coming back in the sort of form that could really make this world sit up and watch what a true talent he is.
Well, we're being treated to the elegant style and grace of Asbel Kiprop, fairly gliding around this brand new Mondo surface.
It's almost too relaxing, isn't it? It's almost looking around here, enjoying it as much as we are, really. But there you go.
He looks totally effortless. When he looks up into that big screen, it's like he's out for a 10-mile Sunday stroll.
Well, looking at this now, we just see Mazzano coming into the picture at the top of it. He's actually stretching away from the Olympic silver medalist. He's making it look easy. Well, there we are, the last lap now, and the Kenyans have totally dominated this race. And what man to bring them home? Asbel Kiprop, twice world champion, past Olympic champion, and he's absolutely devastating this last leg. Those long legs stretching further and further away. The crowd over the back straight are really appreciating this. Behind him, though, Ethiopia and Australia battling out for the 2nd and 3rd places. No, sorry, 4th and 3rd places, but they're a long, long way back. They really are. Just less now than 200 metres to go. Kenya have done it again. They've dominated these relays over here. And the crowd are going absolutely wild because the announcer is telling them that this man is coming home in a new world record. Asbel Kiprop, the last 50 metres or so, and the legs are even stretching out. The arms are pumping. He wants even more. The arms go up, he waves to the crowd, and there it is. A new world record, 14:22:22. Kenya have been supreme here at these World Relay Championships. Mazzano struggling now as Walter comes at him. Mazzano is holding on, or is he? The Olympic silver medalist is coming home in second place, but only just as Walter fails to catch him. Drama yet again. Wow. Asbel Kiprop congratulates his friend and mate and teammate Kip Lagat.
3:32 leg for Kiprop.
3:32 on his own. The conditions are not good here. There's a big, big wind down that back straight.
Well, Steve called it over the line, a brand new world record.